Hello all. Not sure why I'm going live. Didn't tell anyone. And I hope somebody will be watching. But anyway, I am live right now. And I'm sitting here. It's a Sunday and whew, dreading Monday, basically. But anyway, don't know who's out there at this time. I know everybody is sleeping right now in South Africa. But I am up and awake, and yeah, I think I'm just gonna keep quiet until people watch, and then edit this video and delete the first part. Uh, yeah, say hi when you join in. Don't forget to say hi. Who's this? There's one person watching. Say hi. So, but anyway, first of all, this, as I said, was unplanned, and I just thought I should come and say hi because it's been a while since I've uploaded a real video, to be honest with you. But I do have videos set up that I'm going to be uploading soon as I'm getting ready for the next phase of our house. But I thought I would also provide this time for you guys to ask questions, things that you want to know, like about the house building process, about my life right now. In terms of my life, I'm working, which is a good thing. I'm working really hard, actually. That's part of why I haven't been able to upload. I'm working really, really hard because I need to finish the second phase of the house. But that also means that I have to wait for the right time. So right now I'm organizing a team of builders right now, and I've been talking to roofers, I've been talking to people who do plastering, electricity. I've been talking to people who will be doing like the flooring, windows and doors, all the stuff that will be involved in phase two. And so I've been talking a lot about that to different people that are in South Africa. And so it's kind of a challenge, to be honest with you, because I'm trying to organize this thing and I'm trying to keep, I have a budget in mind, and I'm trying to keep within that budget. And the difficulty that all of us face when it comes to building is people knowing that you live in America, you work in America, so people kind of want to take advantage of that. But by and large, I'm talking to all these different people that are going to be doing the next phase of our house, and it's been very fruitful exercise. One of the things that I'm considering actually is solar. Okay, because in South Africa we have huge problems related to power, basically to energy. So South Africa, based on my understanding, we have Eskom, which is the supplier of electricity, and I think they are working on, like 10, 20-year projects as to how they're going to continue to provide power, because right now the system is overwhelmed. So they do these things called load shedding. That means you have very unreliable system. And so I kind of wanted to get from under that and basically go off grid. That's really what I would like to do. But that is proving to be very, very difficult, to be honest with you, because it is so expensive to put real power, solar power in your house, especially in rural areas, especially if you want to do a full system, not just a system that is like that maybe takes care of lights when there's load shedding. But no, your system, your house will run on solar power. But the advantage, obviously, is that South Africa has a lot of sun, and not only has a lot of sun, like the place where I'm building, we have no trees, so in terms of charging and like issues related to that, I shouldn't have a lot of problems. But I still have a lot to educate myself on when it comes to solar power, because there's so many variables, and really understanding what a lot of things mean, maintenance, all these things are things that I have to think about. Like for instance, if I run out of battery, how many hours can my house handle everything? So one of the biggest issues, another reason why really I wanted to go with solar power, I wanted to make sure that I have the biggest DB box that I can have, just like I have here in my house in America. I want to make sure that I have that similar setup in South Africa in terms of my energy needs, because the house is big, the house has 2 floors, the house is gonna pretty much have double the capacity of the average house. And so because of that, I have to consider all these things, but it's proving to be very, very expensive. I've had quotes between like 280 to 435,000 rands just to set up a system that will work. So, but I haven't really looked at it in absolute detail, because I'm still entertaining quotes right now and letting people that are doing the quotes for me know what capacity I'm looking at and what I want to be able to support in my house, that type of thing. So that has been what I've been doing in the last few months. And what else? Obviously, I celebrated my kids' birthdays since I've been back. I've celebrated Christmas. It's been wonderful. It's cold right now, but it's been absolutely wonderful to be around family. And I cut my hair. Yes, I did. I did the sides. I wasn't trying to have it cut. Okay, I was just literally just having a uh, shaping, but they did a horrible job. I won't lie, they did a horrible job. But my hair is not my biggest concern in life, so I really don't care. But they did a horrible job. But yeah, those are the major things. As I said, I've been looking into the next phase of the house, which will be today actually I was researching like which one should I do first? Do I do roofing or do I do plastering? So I finally found an answer on the internet. So my house is, the double-story house, and I have, like I have the bottom is much bigger than the what you call, it's much bigger than the bottom. Sorry, the bottom is much bigger than the top, and as a result, I have to think about how we're going to do these different steps. The next phase, which will include plastering, electricity, um, electricity wiring, electricity, and flooring, windows, doors, roofing. Okay, so I was trying to research which one should come first, because the challenge is, as I said, because my house is too big at the bottom. So if we put the roof on and then we plaster, then we're going to have a problem with the roof being destroyed by the people who will be doing the plastering. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the roofing at the top as the first step, and then I'm going to do the plastering of all the sides inside and out. And then the next step will be to do the let me start over. I'm going to start with cubing. Okay, that's going to be cubing. That's going to be first step. The second step is going to be roofing just the top floor, because the sides, the bottom, as I said, is much bigger. So we'll have a roof on the bottom as well than the top. So we'll do the top as the next step. Then we'll do the plastering inside and out. I skipped plumbing. So tubing and plumbing will go together, and then we'll do the roof upstairs, and then the plastering, and then the next step will be the floors, and we'll put in the windows and doors to close the house. The house at that point will be completely closed. And another thing that I have to do in the next phase will be a water reservoir. A water reservoir basically is like you build a house, like let's say 10 by, my husband and I, we calculated about a 3 by, I think a 3 by 3 meters, that is tall. I don't know, 3 meters tall. No, not 3 meters, like 2 meters tall. And so we're going to create that house, like it's like creating a big box underground. And then that's where all our water from all our gutter system is going to go to. Okay. And part of why we have to do it that way is because we don't want really the house to be full of JoJo tanks. Because we need a capacity of about 20,000 liters, we think. That should be good enough for, you know, like for the family. When we all in South Africa, we should have enough water at least to last, you know, like us. So that will be the also part of the next phase. So and that's gonna be really the closest we're gonna be in terms of the house and the size of the house. And we're going to make sure that by the, oh, another thing that we're going to do, part of why I had to really change my schedule, is we're going to plant as well. We want to plant. And so in South Africa, the rainy season is in December. And so we want to make sure that we plant fruit trees before we come back. And so I'm going to go with him this time. So I'm excited about that. I'm going to go with him, and then he's gonna leave me there. Basically, he's gonna leave me in South Africa to finish the stuff. But we have a game plan, and as I said, we've been working on it, making sure that we get all the codes in place. So what I'm going to do differently this time. Last time I had a general contractor. Basically, in South Africa, in the rural areas where I'm building, there are very few general contractors. Okay. Basically what they do is they go like out, you know, like pose as a builder and go out there and look for people off the street, and I become the middleman and then take those people and pay them very little and take the money for myself. So I'm cutting that out. What I'm trying to do this time is to say, okay, I want a company that excels in installing electricity, because also remember that electricity is going to be a lot more complicated than the small house. And so we kind of need a professional company to do that. And another thing is, like I want someone who knows how to, who specializes on plastering, someone who specializes on plumbing. That's how I'm going to do it this way, and I'm going to have direct contracts with them. And whatever they decide to do in terms of like getting people off the street or whatever, but my contract will be between me and them. And so that's how I plan to do things differently. Really, it's a lesson learned from my experience in, you know, like in my first phase of building. I could have avoided so many issues, to be honest with you, had I done it this way, I believe. Because once I, you know, like I did things the way I'm doing them, then things started moving. It took a long time, obviously, and I know that. But at the same time, it was because I've never had experience doing what I was doing. I had no reason. I'm just like, I had no, it was not my place, to be honest with you. But I'm my mother's daughter. And so for me, like, I don't look at challenges as something that cannot be fixed. I think everything can be handled. That's how I think about life. And so I really did take on more than I could handle. But it is what it is at this point, and I learned a lot of lessons, and those are the lessons basically I'm taking with me moving forward. How to find the right people to do the job, how to look them up, make sure that they're legit, what kind of staff they have, what kind of tools they have, what kind of business, how long they have in business, are there any reviews online. I want professionals only this time. I'm not going to do the thing that I did last time, which was basically take people who had no business taking on that a project that big. So yeah, but just to go back, I just want to make sure that, you know, like the house is at a level next time when I'm coming back to America that is livable. That's my goal. Not finished as in like, you know, I have pictures here, I have, you know, like all my, I don't know, like because the house is like 5 bedrooms, okay? And because it's 5 bedrooms, I have to, move carefully, because I don't want to put in all this energy and time into a house, and then I end up being very unhappy with, like how it has turned out. And so once I finish, I close it. I'm going to take my time finishing it, putting finishes in each room. What I'm going to do is that we have a guest bathroom downstairs, and that guest bathroom is the one that's going to be finished first, because that bathroom can be used by anyone. And of course, we have the guest house, which is also will be available for us to use. So even if it's not just me and my husband who are in South Africa, our kids come and join us, we'll still be fine, because we'll have the 2 bathrooms at least finished, and then the rest of it will just finish over time. But I'm looking forward. I'm really excited, about the next phase of the house, and I really honestly cannot wait to go back and finish it. And so what I've been doing, I've been watching, by the way, a lot of people. Guess what? You're missing out, guys. A lot of people are building in Africa. African Americans, like people who went out, like who went and lived in other countries, they're coming back home and they're building homes. And it is a phenomenon. It is cropping up everywhere. People are building their dream homes, and it's beautiful to watch. And I'm excited to be part of that, because like I should have done this a long time ago. And a lot of us, just to change the subject, a lot of us are very hey Mapule, hey, how are you, girl? Oh, there's Mapule. She's also building in South Africa, by the way, and she lives in New Jersey. So I'm so excited about that. We've become friends, and we talk, we share our frustrations. We just keep each other updated about the stages that we are on. So I'm very excited. I have another friend who's also building in Africa. I won't mention her name because they like to be private, but a lot of people are building. A lot of people. I even created actually a playlist on one of my playlists of people who are just building, like homes in Africa, and it's a revolution, guys. I don't know what to call it. It's a phenomenon, and a lot of people. I'm so excited about that. I feel like we are kind of catching the wave right when it's going up, and I'm very happy about that, because a lot of people truly were scared. We're scared. I was scared, but guess what? And here's the funny part: all the people who are building in Africa, all of them, their houses have burglar bars. That makes me feel a little bit better, because I was dreading everything, by the way. Oh, that's another thing we will put in the next phase, are burglar bars, because the issues that we face in the village. Our houses, some of us are isolated, and some of us, we just live in areas where, like people might commit crimes because they know that the police are not going to come quickly. And so like a lot of people are putting in burglar bars. And I did get a quote, by the way. Okay. And I was shocked at the price. But I also understand that it's part of the deal and everybody's doing it. So I don't feel so bad now, to be honest with you. I've accepted and embraced the burglar bars. And I'm just gonna learn to live. I'm still gonna put extra cameras and everything in my house, but ultimately I'm going to have burglar bars. So I'm happy about that. Yeah, what else? I've been following another blogger as well, who's also showcasing the South African countryside. We had touched on something, which was like how do people access land in Africa? Like if, let's say, you're African American and you want to have land in Africa, like there are a lot of avenues. But the biggest issue, obviously, in our rural areas, especially in South Africa, we have what they call ancestral land. That means you have to have ancestry in the area in order to get land. But the thing that I've been trying to push for is for the chiefs to start allowing people, decent human beings, that are interested in a peaceful life, like life where, like people are just all about, like taking care of things, to come into these villages, buy land, and be part of the community, in hopes that that money that gets raised can be taken and be used to build facilities for the villagers. That I think would be a very good investment. Again, also you do need. I'll talk about my village where I'm building. So like you kind of do need an infusion of people who have a little bit more money to help the area, kind of, like, for instance, look, my sisters and I, we wanted to do a borehole. Okay, a lot of people are doing their own boreholes, but we wanted to kind of come together. And we also wanted to fix the road, because we, as you already know, we don't have roads in the village. So we thought about buying this thing called isabunge and put it in our village. So if we had more people with money, that would allow for us to do that easily, because then you don't have to carry the burden yourself, like whether it's water or roads and stuff like that. But obviously, a lot of people rely on, like on rainwater tanks, and that works well until, like it's during summer, during fall or spring, where it's not as raining as much, or summer or wind, I should say. But yeah, so I'm excited. I mean, there's a lot going on, and it's very difficult to cover all at once. But there's a lot going on, and I'm excited for the journey that I'm on. Even though it was like so frustrating, I had to dye my hair when I came back, because I had so many grades, because a lot of things were stressful, and obviously I'm invested in all of this, and I wanted everything to work out. But I'm excited with the phase two. I think it's gonna be, like a wonderful, like we will get as far as we can with phase two. That's why I'm making sure everything is set up before I go back, because I don't want to go there and be looking for things. I want to say on a certain date, we are starting, this is what we're starting with, and I'm going to be there for 2 months tops. That's my goal. And then I'm going to come back. So planning and making sure that everything goes according to plan is something that I want to enforce, and I want to make sure that the people that I'm going to be working with understand the value of time and planning, and so that we don't, we can, like we don't make the same mistakes that we made last time. So yeah, I'm excited, and I said I should update you guys, and just let you know where things are. And I will let you know as I get back to schedule. Right now, as I said, I'm just so busy, and even now I'm going to, there are things that I need to do once I get off this. So there's a lot going on. So what's the time now? So I've been going on for 23 minutes. Oh my gosh, I didn't even realize it. But if you guys have any questions, things you want to know, let me know. And what I'll do is I'll probably just compile them. You can let them know if the stream has ended. You can let me know in the comments, and then I will answer from there. Oh, by the way, I forgot to let you know. So the storm that I shared with you guys, so you guys know I have a security cam in my yard, and so I can see the house from America. Technology is wonderful. I can see my house, right? And so I happened to get a notification, and when I got the notification, I guess the storm tripped the camera. So I checked as usual, and it was just like dazzling, like bedazzling, like the lightning was so, and the noise and everything. And our area actually gets a lot of storms, like thunderstorms like that. And so one of the things I need to make sure that whoever's going to be installing my electricity does a lot of earthing for the house. That way, if like electricity strikes, the house doesn't burn down. So those are the things that I need to make sure that I can have them written down by the contractor, because these are not things to overlook. And again, electricity is very dangerous, so we just need to have all those things taken care of. So, but one of the things that fell was a column in the back. You cannot see it, and I didn't see it too. I had to send someone to go look for it, and the columns in the back fell off. And so, like, we have to fix that, but that is because they were not done correctly. But I didn't think they were gonna fall, to be honest with you. um so the guys that were working on the house the last time, I kind of had to fire them because they were doing such a horrible job, and I was ready to leave and come back to America anyway at that point. So I told them to stop working, and I paid them off their money, because I didn't want them to come back and say, oh, you owe us this. I gave them more money, even though they screwed so much, like they messed up so much. But I was willing to just say, okay, basically buy them off. So I said, here's your money, you guys can go. And I knew that at the time that I was going to come back and finish later. So we basically left the columns standing there, and they were not done correctly, because they should have had what you call a reinforcement bars that are drilled on the slab, and they didn't do that clearly. And so one of the columns fell because of the storm. So what I'm trying to get to is, people thought that I was just like exaggerate. Yes, I did exaggerate. That's how YouTube works. People shouldn't be mad at me. My channel isn't doing that great, like. So anyway, if I can get views by saying that it destroyed my house, I'll say that. You can see that it is not destroyed, but the column did fall. And I, like, I'm not the kind of person who likes to do those topics, to be honest with you, like where I do clickbait and stuff. So, but I just happened to, I felt like that was a distraction to have your columns fall. So I was not far off. Let's put it that way. But yeah, I hope you guys are doing well. I hope you have a wonderful Sunday. I'm going to stop now. Again, this wasn't planned. I wish I had planned, and I gave everyone a fair warning, and like, and also did it at the time that most South Africans are up, because a lot of South Africans actually do support my channel. 3 countries support my channel: South Africa, United States, and UK, believe it or not. And so those 3 major groups, I like to be online when they are online. That way I can, like, I can share with everyone. But a lot of people are sleeping right now, and I really truly appreciate, by the way, guys, the support, and I appreciate everything that you guys, like, are doing. My Facebook page is doing well, and I appreciate that. I appreciate, like, the comments, the likes. I really do, because they do help with the algorithm. YouTube algorithm does look at those things, and that helps the channel grow a little bit. And so, and everything, every view that I have is organic views, so I don't, like, buy views or anything like that. So I really truly appreciate all the support. But yeah, I am done now. I'm gonna get off this, and I'm going to have a glass of water. It's Sunday. I wish I could have a glass of wine, but as I said, I'm very busy right now, so I have to kind of focus. But anyway, okay, guys, thank you so much. And I know other people are still watching, but I have to get off before I ramble off. Excuse me. I do have 2 videos that I'm going to put up, right? One of the videos, just before I go, sorry, I said I was leaving. Just before I go, one of the videos I wanted to put up was my mom's tribute video, okay? I did a video where I was just talking, just remembering that day, because I wanted to recall that day. I don't know why, but I wanted to recall it. So I did a video, but I couldn't get myself to post it. And obviously, it's not a monetization video. It's just a video for me to have my recollection of what happened that day when my mother passed away, because I was there in South Africa with her, literally in another room. And so But every time I look at the pictures of my mom, the videos and everything, I smile and I cry and I laugh and like it's like, you know, that roller coaster. But it does end up draining my energy to a point where I just don't want to continue doing the editing and stuff like that. So I just leave it like that. But I would love to put up that video just to as a tribute to my mom. I do give her, you know, like small tributes over time, just remembering who she was and everything. And her death, what anniversary was her burial was on the 28th and she passed away on the 19th of January. So it's kind of like I was going through the emotions, or like pretty much these days. But it's, you know, like it will never go away. I'm still shocked about, you know, like how everything happened. But at the same time, you know, like I do want to put up a video. And second of all, I'm going to put up a video on things I loved in South Africa and things I hated in South Africa. And it's all one video because that's how life is, right? So it's all in one video. I'm going to put that video up. And then the next video I'm going to put up is basically all the steps that we're going to be taking to complete phase two. If you didn't hear about the phase one and the phase two, sorry, the steps that I'm going to take, you can rewatch this video and then I'll bring you all those videos as well. But thank you so much, guys. I wish I had more. Let me see. Wow, you moved back to South Africa. How long you been back? No. I didn't move back to South Africa, but I'm building in South Africa. Uh, if you follow my channel, I do have a home here. I've been in America for 23 years, and my kids live here. My husband lives here. I live here. I work here for an American company, but I'm building a house in South Africa in the village. That's the part I love because I'm literally building in, like, you know, amongst cows and goats, and you know, like it really is beautiful. So I'm building in South Africa a second home basically, so that as my husband and I get older, we'll be able to spend more time, especially once we retire, we'll be able to spend more time there. So, but no, I'm not back full time in South Africa, but with the way the world works today in terms of being able to work remotely, my hope is that we'll spend more time in South Africa. Like at this time of the year, our plan is to be from February to June. We want to be in South Africa, and then after that, we want to come back to America. So that's really our plan, or even February to May. You know, like really, we don't want to. We want to the majority of the time to be in America, and then 3 months to 4 months out of the year to be in South Africa. And yeah, it's an amazing time to be able to work remotely, and it's a blessing for a lot of us because it brings a lot of freedom. And so that's why I'm kind of happy that we are embarking on that journey. But yeah, that's it, guys. I don't know what else to say, unless you have questions. I can wait a few more minutes. I still have a few more minutes. I can wait. But yeah, like it's an exciting time, you know, like to be able to work. As I said, a lot of people are building in Africa. Like it's become a phenomenon, and a lot of people are not going to big cities. They are going to the village right in the bush, and that to me is the most exciting thing because I've been wanting the villages to grow in a more organic but planned way. um, is that an oxymoron? Like, I do want an organic growth, but I also want planning and stuff like that. So with people coming to the village, that's gonna force, you know, like the government to look at rural areas differently. Hopefully, provide better services and not just ignore people in the villages because they are ignored. And I won't lie about that. But again, you know me, I go camping, I go hiking. So I do love the rugged lifestyle, but we're trying to create a more town-like life in the village, and that it's exciting. And as I said, there's so many channels that I follow here on YouTube where people are building in Africa and they're building their dream homes, and that's in the villages, and that's exciting. And I'm building in Eastern Cape, right? And Eastern Cape, we're kind of in the infancy stages of this, meaning that unlike, like provinces like Limpopo, I used to say Limpopo, Limpopo. They are far advanced. Oh gosh, you should look at their houses and everything. Like the houses that they are building, like they're mansion-sized houses. And so Eastern Cape is kind of like starting out, like to be on that trend, and it's making me so excited. So many of my friends I grew up with who had given up on the village and never thought much of the village. They thought of the village the same way our parents thought of the village, which is the place you go and die. But now people are thinking differently. We have running water, we have electricity, we have, we have indoor toilets. And so all these things are making people excited because they're seeing the possibility. But another thing that I was talking to about with the builders, because some of my builders will be coming out of town, I was telling them that you guys are missing out, because a lot of people don't want to build for villagers because they think we don't have money, like in the village, and so they don't want to be wasting their time. But I was telling them that people in the village, people have changed their attitudes about how they're building in the villages. They want city-like houses in the village, but they still want the land. They still want, like the feeling that you're in the village, but your house where you live and everything should not make you feel like you're in the village. And that's the attitude change. And that attitude change is giving, like it's coming with a lot of opportunity. So, and I was telling these guys that you should not overlook the villages, because that's where a lot of people need. We don't have the skill set, to be honest with you, because like people in the village, a lot of times they're not used to city like homes, right? They're just building utilitarian houses, or I should say utility houses, like where you basically want to just live in basic house. But now people are moving away from that. One of my cousins, her house is so beautiful, it feels like a house in the city, and so everybody's doing this, and that's exciting to me. And I'm telling the builders, you guys need to go to the village, because we do want beautiful homes, even though we live in the village. So yeah, I'm so excited, and I can't wait to go back and start phase 2. So that's gonna be coming up soon, and I'm going to share every step. And in fact, for that phase, as I said, because I have all these steps planned out, I'll bring you a shorter video for each stage. That way you guys like, I'm not boring you with very long videos, number one. And another thing is, I was going to say, I was thinking of getting, oh, I just noticed I'm not wearing my ring. I never wear my ring. But what I was going to say, one of the things I wanted to do actually was to buy those machines that you use to create blocks with, because I saw one of the YouTubers did that. They had a lot of paving that they needed to do. They're building in Tanzania actually, and I follow them. One of the things that they did that I thought was kind of genius, and I wish I had done it early, because I bought a lot of blocks, okay, and like those little bricks. I remember one time I bought like 20,000 of those small bricks at one time. So I bought a lot of blocks. So imagine if I had a machine to have people make them for me, but make sure that the ratios are correct and that they are done correctly. I probably would have saved a lot of money, and I would have the machine left afterwards to use it, maybe start selling bricks or something like that. But I have a lot of paving that needs to be done. My driveway, I want to use pavers, because in South Africa pretty much everyone uses pavers. Most people don't use cement like here in America, where we have our driveways in cement. Excuse me. And so I kind of want that. I want to make sure that I can do all my paving at once. So I'm probably going to do that and just get young men from the village to actually do the thing. Because once you teach them, these kids are teachable. They're hardworking, some of them. Gosh, I met all sorts of people when I was in the village. I met lazy ones. I met money hungry ones. I met hardworking ones. But I know the hardworking ones. So I was thinking like I can just get them to do all my bricks for all the paving, because I need paving for the driveway. I need paving to the from the guest house to the main house. I need paving from the main house to the outdoor, my famous outdoor toilet. I need paving for that. So all this paving is gonna be a lot of bricks. And in order for me to not skimp and make wide, like let's say 6 feet wide paths, then I'm gonna need a lot of bricks. So I was thinking of doing it that way, but at the same time, I will look at the cost, because buying a machine and end up spending, I don't know, 150 to, I don't even know, I haven't even checked, to be honest with you. Buy that machine, and the next thing I know, I'm spending as much as if I had just bought bricks from people who know how to make them. Do you get what I'm saying? So the cost might not be worth it, but I'm willing to look at everything. But I do like the idea of having it, because I still need to build another small, remember my guest house originally was going to be used for a person who's going to watch over the house, right? But I made it so nice, y'all. You've seen the video, right? And a lot of people loved it. The video is doing very well on its own, of the guest house. And if you haven't seen it, check it out. And so I made it so nice that now I don't want to give up to, like people who may not respect, like what I did there. So I was thinking of building another small flat this time and just make it as basic as possible. So that will require bricks as well, small bricks, big blocks, and all that. And so I was thinking that could help there. So yeah, I have a lot of work ahead of me. I want to plant a vineyard, but that seems like that's gonna be a lot of work. And if I can find someone who can help me with that, I do want to plant as early as possible, because things take years to get to maturity level. And so because of that, I just want to make sure that, like, I'm everything is rolling along and it's coming along, and not wait till the end, because as I said, I plan to spend a lot of years there. I'm hoping, that I'll be able to enjoy the house as much as I hope that I will be able to, especially because my kids are older, and I can just, like maybe take, like, just my husband and I. Really, that's our plan. And then when we are there, we can just let our family know that we are home, and everybody can come and join us, and we'll have all the space that we need. To be honest with you, with 5 bedrooms and a guest house, we will have enough space to fit everyone. But yeah, anybody else has questions? Let me take a sip break. So, but yeah, that's it, guys. I don't know what else to say. Any questions about my hair? This was a bad job, but my hair don't care. um, but yeah, like, those who had just joined in, I've been going on for more than 40 minutes, and you'll have to watch the video again, because, oh, since this is a life update, one of the things, by the way, is I think the is it COVID period, it's become so hard for me to lose weight, to be honest with you, because and I still eat well, but because it's winter and my life is even more sedated than it was during summer, so things are just getting worse. So I can't wait for winter to be over, because I'm a spring, summer, and fall person. That's me. Winter is not my time. If I was a bear, I would probably go to hibernation and come back out, like after the winter is over. But as I get older, I don't dread it as much as I used to. I used to literally get depressed during winter. But now, like, I kind of take it with stride and just, count, not even think about the dates. I don't even know what date it is today because I'm just don't want to be bothered by winter. And I know we still have another full, very cold month coming up, and we won't be able to warm up until sometime March 21st, after March 21st, and that's when spring will start. But right now, fortunately, this winter hasn't been that cold, even though we've had two, like we have snow like twice in the short period of time. In January, we had snow, but overall, the winter hasn't been that cold. And sometimes I go out for a walk, and that's really how I keep saying. I try to go out anytime I get it, I go out. And oh, another thing, and I've shared the video of my grandpappy. So we watch my grandpappy pretty much during the week because our daughter doesn't want to leave him at their, like at her place for him to be alone during the day. So he comes to granddaddy daycare basically, and grandma's daycare. So he comes over here during the week, and we watch him, and we love having him. And then we have to take him for walks every day, and so that helps us get out of the house. And believe me, guys, nothing makes you feel better like getting out of the house and getting fresh air, especially during winter. So yeah, like that's basically how I've been trying to keep sane, because I absolutely cannot stand winter, but I also have learned to appreciate, like all the seasons, because really the seasons is what we as human beings go through in life, and we have to embrace every season. So I try to take that lesson from nature, is that spring, the dormancy of winter leads to a beautiful spring. Like, and so we have to just allow, winter to happen in order for beautiful things to come out. So yeah, that has been the basically my attitude towards winter. But I just can't wait, and I'm trying to keep my mind as busy as possible so I don't think about it. But yeah, I'm excited about the next phase. And Krotman, yeah, it's very hey, Amanati, hello, how are you? Rodman, people don't understand. There are people who love winter, and I get that. But if you grew up in South Africa, I mean, it was very cold. Oh, I forgot to make you guys laugh. So my husband, today it was very cold, by the way, here, very cold. So my husband, he wakes up and he says, oh, he said, oh, lama cardboard ezindlu sihlala kuzo zimgetse, because the house is so warm. We have to put our heating system on. So the house is so warm, which is, like helpful here in America. And so he was saying our houses, even though they are made out of wood, they are very nice because it's nice and toasty inside. But that, again, for me, it's about the sunlight, it's about being out there. I love the outdoors. I just want to be outdoors. I'm a kid who grew up in South Africa, so being outside makes me thrive. And so but here we have to literally hunker down and be indoors most of the winter because it gets really cold, colder than South Africa. But I will say, even though it's colder than South Africa, because we have heating systems here, it does make it bearable. Whereas South African winter, you feel everything. You feel everything. You feel everything inside and outside of the house. I was always looking like a grandma in South Africa, like with my head on inside the house and my blanket on like this inside the house. I had to buy a heater, a space heater, which helped out a lot. But because I was always, like running around and out and about, I was feeling everything, like the wind and everything. But again, I still love it because I always tell people I'm not a stranger to South Africa. I was born and raised there. I know the country very well. I know everything about the country. So even if I, like the things that I feel, I can tolerate them because they're not a shock in my system. It's things that I know I grew up with. It's just a brutal reminder that, the benefits, like of having a house that's heated versus not. Having said that, I've always said to people, South Africa is not as extreme, let's say, even as North Carolina. North Carolina is very mild weather, climate wise. It's mild compared to most places in America, but at the same time, like in January, this time in South Africa, it's very hot. It gets really hot, right? Almost, it's hotter than the summers here. But the summers here are very humid compared to the Eastern Cape, especially South African summers. So we get dips of summer, like where it gets really hot, but because of humidity, it feels worse. In South Africa, it's hot and dry, so it's bearable. Then the winter, you feel it again there, mainly because we don't have the heating systems like we do here. I mean, some people who are rich do have them. Like when I stayed in Camps Bay with our daughter, when she came to visit, the house had, like had a heating system, like a not central, like a room heating system. So the room where we were sleeping was heated. In Coffee Bay, which is the Eastern Cape, the room was not heated, but oh gosh, that experience, by the way, you guys, I don't know if you saw that video. That experience was out of this world. Okay. My daughter booked everything for us while she was here in America, and then when she came to South Africa, we went to Coffee Bay for the first time. It was the most harrowing drive. We literally almost fell off the cliff. Okay, we were on our way to Coffee Bay, and we decided to stop in this beautiful, like up in the mountains, and we were gonna take in the view. And remember, there are no guards or anything. Like it's literally probably I would say a 3,000 feet drop. I don't know, like maybe 1,000 meter drop. I don't know, but I get out of the car. I'm excited. I'm about to take pictures. I get out of the car. And as soon as I get out of the car, my daughter was still in the car. My kids are very slow coming out of the car. Even when we go to a grocery store, they're the last people to come out of the car. So my daughter happened to be herself, taking longer to come out of the car. I jump out of the car, and then she says, "Mom, the car is moving." Guys, I jumped inside the car and I hit the brakes like that. Now, after all this has happened, the car stopped and I pulled the brakes. Now, imagine if I hit the accelerator instead of the brakes. We could have literally died. And I was shaking like a leaf because I was just realizing how badly it could have all ended for me and my daughter. And so after that, as we were driving, I would make sure that everything was in park and completely stopped. But it was just the most thrilling. But once we got there, it was magical. It was absolutely magical. We stayed at this place, very like basic but nice and comfortable place. Our room was overlooking the water. The thing, the Indian Ocean was looking. So that happened. That night happened to have a moon. It was like around the 20th. So the moon was up. It was absolutely gorgeous, coming like from the ocean like that. I couldn't even capture it with the camera. And then when I came, I mean, when we had dinner, they had us have dinner under candlelight, and it was just like magic. That's how it felt. It was just the two of us. There was no one in pretty much the whole town. Okay, we went to the beach in the morning. It was just the two of us, no one else. We went and saw the hole in the wall, which is a tourist attraction. It was just the two of us. So it was like we were like literally in heaven. And then the following day, we woke up to this beautiful sunrise, the same spot where the moon came up. And it was just like magic. And there was no one. And I love that, to be honest with you, when I go on vacation, like traveling at this time where we're living under, it's so nice because every place is pretty much empty and you get to enjoy. It was like, I, as a result, the first thing I'm going to do when I'm in South Africa, I'm going to take my husband to Coffee Bay, and I'm going to take him to Hogsback as well, like the place where we did the hike. But yeah, it was absolutely scary, but it led to the most magical time I had in South Africa, just being me and my daughter. But anyway, let me read quickly. Uh, yeah, actually, if you guys recall, Rodman, I'm talking to you about Johannesburg and rain. I didn't know. I don't know much about my own country, South Africa, to be honest with you, but I'm starting to appreciate a lot. So one of the things I didn't know about Joburg was that it is almost 6,000 feet, or if it's around 6,000 feet high in terms of elevation. That means it's very high up, elevation wise. And so I didn't know about that. But when I came to Johannesburg, it was around September, so it was spring there. When I arrived, and I had to quarantine for 10 days. Oh, that was the most horrible experience ever. But okay, maybe not ever. But one thing I wanted to talk about is, it was so dry. The air was so dry that I actually started having a nosebleed. That's how dry, like the air was. But it was absolutely beautiful weather-wise, and it rained probably once when I was there. But I absolutely loved the area where I was in, and yeah, Joburg is one of those cities I haven't. I did experience it actually many times, but usually I just go for a very short period of time. But anyway, thank you guys. Sorry for keeping you all. Had a wonderful time, and thanks for the questions. Iminati says there's no wind in Durban. That is so true. I went to Durban in winter and I swam with the sharks. I'm kidding, not with the sharks, but I swam and it was absolutely beautiful. Like, by the way, in America we have a place called Florida. It's just like Durban. Florida, same way. Like, people here in the north, which is like us, all the way to New York, Maine, and all those places, they go to Florida during winter because it's warmer there. So Durban is like that. And I love that. I'm not going to be very far, living in Eastern Cape. I'm not going to be very far from Durban. So I'll be able to, if I want some sun, I'll just drive. It'll be a short drive for me to get there. But yeah, but thank you so much, guys. I appreciate it and glad that you guys came along. And again, please be on the lookout. You can watch my playlist from South Africa while I was there. And I'm gonna be giving you guys a different, like playlist as soon as we start phase two. It's gonna be called phase two playlist. But yeah, thank you so much, guys. And those who are joining in, please take the time to watch the video because I have to sign out now. Thank you so much.